I'm Kyriakos Kyriakopoulos, Associate Dean of Academic Programs at ALBA Graduate Business School at the American College of Greece in Athens, Greece. And I'm also Associate Professor of Strategy and Marketing. Well, the source of the idea is the challenge that managers face nowadays. And these challenges do not seem to fit neatly with the existing paradigms of how we educate business leaders. There's too much bias, emphasis on more analytical, rational side, while we know in reality more and more managers have to take decisions that have to embrace contradictory demands. In this case, this analysis maybe is not the best or should not be the only compass to take educated decisions. So we see more and more that what we need to do in business education is to allow people to explore their own creative side and to be able to experiment with other traditions. Not a traditional business curriculum, but borrow ideas, processes and skills from theater, from video production, and be able to explore through non-traditional means of education to explore management dilemmas. So the idea here is how we create new experiences, immersive for the students, where they experiment with these artistic traditions, and where they find new answers to all problems for management. So the idea here is utilize theater and video production exactly for this purpose. Well, I think the greatest difficulty is how you embed effectively these non-traditional skills and processes in an MBA curriculum. And there are certainly many risks. Usually people will say, how easy it is for students to access these skills? That's why what we tried to do was to utilize universally relevant artistic traditions like theater, which is relevant across different cultures and across time, as well as capitalize on the sophistication of the younger generation on utilizing video technologies, especially with YouTube and other media. So make it a little bit more possible, more accessible, and more effective for students to experiment, because here the idea can be great, can be inspiring, but the devil is always in details. So our professors thought very carefully, they designed very carefully a set of experiences that allow students to make use of these non-traditional settings in order to understand management problems. So one way we're exploring on how to evolve the idea is whether we can utilize some version of these two courses, Creativity, Innovation, and Management Acts and Theatrical Integration, in other programs except from MBA. So the idea here is whether we can utilize it in our master courses, and of course the challenge is how you adapt the content of the course to the needs of a different student group. So we are full steam ahead in order to explore this perspective and this prospect in the future. I believe more and more we are in a need to utilize new tools in order to be able to explore old problems. The fact that the challenges become even more intense, the situations, the markets, the environment that companies face are more and more ambiguous, uncertain, high velocity, will force many business schools to think in new ways to deliver these skills to leaders, to business leaders. And the idea here is whether our leaders are becoming reflective in analyzing, in understanding the challenges for the human resources, for the investors, for the society. And that will be, I believe, this trend is here to stay, and I'll expect to see many more business schools to experiment and enact this type of courses in the program. Many times we face a challenge whether we are having enough theory or enough practice. I believe that's not a real dilemma. The real dilemma is whether we utilize theory to understand the problems, to debate about different perspectives, and to be able to work as a team in order to take decisions. So the focus of the program is decision making. And the idea here is for a student, what should I do if I were in the shoes of a real fair manager? So the emphasis here is really on how to make decisions, how to defend our arguments, and how to make our case. by utilizing both individual intelligence as well as collaboration and teamwork. So this is a very important element in our MBA, and I believe the market, both in Greece as well as internationally, recognizes that the ALBA students really ready to shine in the moment of truth, in the next interview, when they have to take a decision, when they have to manage a company, a product, or a process.